Hey, y'all. Welcome to Southern Sober and Sassy.
What's up?
We're so glad you're here with us today. We've got a great topic.
Oh, yeah.
Kristy picked it.
Yeah, this one's fun. It's fear of abandonment, fear of rejection. How fun. That's the bad news. The good news is that we're going to talk about the solution to the problem, too. So we're going to break down the problem of fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, and then we're going to move into the solutions. So just chill, just relax. I don't want to freak you out, because this is a very touchy subject that a lot of us suffer from. And a lot of us never recover from. It's going to make me cry. Lord have mercy. But it took me a long time to get over it. It'll probably always be with me, but it is now small. It's not big. It does not dominate my life, and it does not destroy my relationships anymore either. So, a good friend of mine in the program, oh, God, I get emotional talking about this. Sorry. A good friend of mine in the program, she sent a daily devotional to me the other day, and it was fear of abandonment. And I immediately, it set me back, and I was like, all right, I'm about to learn. Because, see, I still learn. 18 years sober down the line, I know that I'm still very teachable. I yearn to learn still. I know that I'm not completely fixed, nor do I want to be. I like the cracked pot that I am. But anyway, I read it and I immediately sent it to Amy and I said we need to do this as a podcast. So we'll read that here in just a second, and then we'll get into it, and I'll let Amy give her 2 cents worth about the topic.
Yeah, letting go of fear and abandonment. As an adult child that I am, that fear and abandonment shows up. It raises its little head. It used to be a big head. Now it's like a little head. Mm-hmm. It raises it in every relationship, every work environment. It also still raises with family. Friendships, yes. Intimate relationships. And remember, intimacy, guys, is not just about sex. It's about just going for ice cream or going for a movie or going to a meeting. I mean, intimacy is so much deeper. So, but it rears its ugly head in something that I found by doing the work is that there's a higher power, and he tells me, fear not my child. Mm-hmm. Fear not my child. I am a 52-year-old child of God. And still, it's okay. So I love this topic, and I am all about staying in the solution. I cannot, it aggravates me. These people, all of us, we want to stay stuck in the problem. We want to stay the little victim, and it's easier to stay stuck instead of moving forward. But once we take that one leap of faith of like, okay, I'm willing to learn, always being that student, then guess what? There's an opportunity for healing that abandonment wound and those fear wounds, and they can move on, and they can just be some sawdust in the wind as we keep on marching by. So we're excited today. Thanks for joining us. So, Kristy, read that reading so everyone can hear what our topic is about. We can talk about it, but I want the depth of it and what you received.
All right, here we go. Letting go of fear of abandonment. Where are you, God? Where did you go? So many people have gone away. We may have felt so alone so much. In the midst of our struggles and lessons, we may wonder if God has gone away too. There are wondrous days when we feel God's protection and presence leading and guiding each step and event. There are gray, dry days of spiritual barrenness when we wonder if anything in our life is guided or planned, wondering if God knows or cares. Seek quiet time on the gray days, force discipline and obedience until the answer comes, because it will. I like that. I have not gone away, child. I am here always. Rest in me in confidence. all in your life is being guided and planned, each detail. I know and I care. Things are being worked out as quickly as possible for your highest good. Trust and be grateful. I am right here. Soon you will see and know. Today I will remember that God has not abandoned me. I can trust that God is leading, guiding, directing, and planning in love each detail of my life.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And I will put that in the notes for people to read it as well. I know you heard it here, but I think for people to really get the value of it and be able to look at their own lives and compare to, hey, where does this fit in?
Mm-hmm. You know, for me, it all started at the age of 12. My dad, we had the perfect all-American family, and I have an older brother and a younger sister. Everything was fine. And my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad had an affair. And he had an affair with another married woman, which she had 3 kids. So, and she was originally born in Australia and had moved to America at a younger age, and she had always wanted to go back. Well, that's exactly what they did. They had an affair. 3 months later, poof, they were gone. Completely 100% gone. No job, no money, no nothing. Now, our dad was gone. My mom had no income. She had no way to get in contact with him. He didn't leave a telephone number. Cell phones were non-existent back then, and that went on for almost a year before we ever even heard from our dad. And I remember it absolutely destroyed our family, and it divided our family, and it is still like that to this day. And I can either fight that or I can accept that. And we'll talk about that when we start talking about the solution to the problem. The problem itself is I was stamped with, you're no good. You don't matter at a very young age. I'm leaving you. You are not good enough. I'm out of here. And I held that in my core and believed it my entire life. And it made me feel inadequate, insecure, unsafe, scared to death at all times. And I started acting out, and I started drinking and smoking pot at a very young age. And I kept on. And I loved the way that it made me feel, because it made those feelings go away. And that obviously turned into an addiction, and I crashed and burned almost at the age of 40. That's a long time to hold those negative emotions, by the way. And went into an intervention and treatment, and now I'm sober, and I have 18 years sober, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. There is a lot of work that had to be done on that topic, though, because walls went up of defense. I lived my life on the defense, and so I became over independent. I became hyper independent, that I'm not going to let you in. I'm not going to let anyone in. And I also overdid it with my children. So I had 2 kids, and so I would not share my children with other people because I was afraid that they might leave. And so I was very overprotective of my children. And my kids wanted to go and spend time with other people, and I was so afraid that someone might take them away from me that I very sparingly shared my children with other people. And anyway, then I did the work. And so I had these brick walls, and those brick walls, number one, I had to admit that I had brick walls. Okay. That's the first step in recovery. All right, yeah. I am very defensive, and I was very defensive because of it. I rejected love. I would not let people love me all the way. It's hard to talk about without crying. Because this is my biggest defect of character. This is my biggest thing that I've had to overcome in recovery. And number one, so I had to admit that I had a brick wall. Number two, my sponsor said to me, "Are you willing to knock off half of those bricks and at least peek up and look around?" I said, "I'll do half, but don't be asking me to do any more." Anyway, all those brick walls finally came down, and now a beautiful, it's almost like a plexiglass wall of protection that I have now. It's pretty and it's beautiful, and I don't have to look at life so harshly now that people are out to get me, or they're going to hurt me, or if I let them in, they're going to leave me. I know now that God will never leave me. He's always got my back. He is my new dad, and I needed a new dad. He'll never leave me. Other people might leave me, but he won't. And that was pretty exciting when my sponsor said to me, "You get to get a new dad in recovery." I was all about that. I was like, "Bring it, man!" And I'm not a piece of shit. I do matter. I am worthy, and I'm lovable, regardless of what people may say. And my dependence is on him. It's not on other people. So other people can come and go in my life now, and I'm still okay. I don't crash and burn. I know that God's got a plan, and that some people stay and some people go. That it's not a reflection of me being a piece of crap. It is part of God's plan that everything needs to be fluid, man. I don't have to put claw marks on everything that I love. And so now I can accept that people are going to come and go in my life, and that they are supposed to. And the ones that stay, God has brought them to me. And I just need to love on the people that are around me right now. And I need to love on them on purpose. Here's the biggest thing is I need to let them love me. I need to let them love me. So there's my little take on all of that. Sorry I got emotional, but yeah, there's the lowdown on that. I'll let Amy take over so I can somewhat compose myself.
Well, I love you, and there's a lot of people that love you. And, you know, you have never talked about, I've never heard the story. So thank you for being vulnerable to people who are listening today. I can relate on certain things. At 11 years old, I found out the dad that I was with was not my dad. I walked in and saw a picture of my mom and him in a wedding picture. And I was like, well, how am I the flower girl? Mm-hmm. How am I the flower girl? And yeah. Wow. And so my mom and biological dad got divorced when I was very young. And she married him. She married John, and he gave me his name. And just listening to you talk, I was a total opposite. I begged people to not leave me. Mm-hmm. Like I went aboard that perfectionism, mm-hmm. that overachiever. Mm-hmm. Like I did too much. I bought you things. I wanted you to stay. So if I could buy your love, mm-hmm. because in all actuality, I felt that I was bought. Not in a bad mm-hmm. sense, but I felt that I was a package deal, and I'm very grateful, for what happened. But, my biological dad, that rejection, and, I understand that, and meeting him and eventually meeting him and trying so fucking hard to have a relationship with him. Mm-hmm. He already had a new family. Yeah. I have a younger brother and sister, and asking, just wanting that attention, and being rejected. And I acted out on that rejection. Mm-hmm. Everything from the Midnight Ballerina. Oh my Lord, I hope my kids aren't listening. Well, one of them knows. From going to that extreme, to abusing substances so hard that it landed me away and isolated from everyone, and when I came home from that, I paid my way, went out on the East Coast to see him, and just like begging. I was still, that man didn't care about seeing me. Mm-hmm. That man, I'm like saving. This is Kristy when I was still in college, working 2 jobs and then paying to go see him, just like begging. I just need you to acknowledge me. Mm-hmm. And, yeah. And when I left, I had a peace knowing that, because I just had a peace and saying, okay. And that is where that shift came from, God being my dad. Yep. Even though John Cooper was still in my life, he had Parkinson's, so it was after Hurricane Michael, so, and anxiety exacerbates Parkinson's. And so he was in those stages, but searching from that age, 11, 12, all the way to seeing him in 2019 and that relationship being broken up. It's just like I was begging for somebody to love me. And that's what I've done for so long. I've gone above and beyond and changed what. I am not supposed to be crying. That's your job.
Here you go.
But even in relationships, going above and beyond and changing who I was to be accepted by them. Mm-hmm. And it all goes back to daddy issues.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old daddy issues. God, man. So thank you. Don't be sorry. We know we's going to do a podcast today and us sitting here crying up a storm, but that's all right. Hopefully you're crying with us. And so, yeah, let's get you the good stuff. The good stuff is 2 things really that come to my mind. God chose me to be sober, and He chose me to recover from all of that pain. And I stepped up to the plate and I did the work. And it was yucky, and it was uncomfortable, and it was unbelievably painful. However, it was worth it too. I have a beautiful, wonderful life now. I'm in new skin. I don't let that man steal my power anymore. For 40 years, y'all, I gave him all of my power. Stop it. Cut the cord, man. That is, Al-Anon teaches us about that. detach with love. You know, here's something else that my sponsor told me. Kristy, just because you forgive your dad does not mean that you have to sit down at the table with him and eat a meal.
And break bread.
Boy, I needed to hear that. She said, just because you forgive your dad does not mean that you still have to have a relationship with him. Whoa, I totally needed to hear that too. You know, I was not sexually abused. I'm going to use this as an example. Let's talk about the person who was sexually abused by their parent. We are supposed to forgive so we don't keep drinking and drugging and eating and gambling and sexing all of our feelings away, okay? That's a tall order for that woman or that man to forgive the person who sexually abused them. It still has got to be done in order for them to be free. However, that does not mean that you still have to have a relationship with them. Check. Thank you. I needed to hear that. My sponsor said to me, your job in moving forward is two things: to love your dad and respect your dad if you see him. Well, thank God I didn't have to see him. And I'm a big girl. I'm allowed to say no. I'm allowed to say no. I'm allowed to say thank you for the invite, but I'm going to decline. Thank you, but no thank you. There's that was kind and it was loving. And then I got to freaking go. I'm like, you know, because the redneck in me wants to come out and be like, hell to the no, I don't want to freaking come see you. But I don't. I act half right now. Okay. But that old Kristy, she's still in there. Here's the other thing is, what if it's not me? You know, it's like, that's when the bus stops. It's like, what if you are the problem? Has that ever dawned on anyone? What if you need to fix yourself? I'm not going to sit here and be a guinea pig because you're not willing to look at your shit. You're not willing to overcome your stuff. And you're not willing to apologize. You're not dragging me along that path anymore. Fix yourself. I am worthy whether you apologize to me or not. I'm going to have a beautiful, wonderful life whether you apologize to me or not. That took a hot minute. Yes, it is allowable. Yes, it is obtainable. And yes, you can have it too.
You're
Lordy, have mercy.
Being the guinea pig, I would win. You know how they have those state fairs that has the best looking pig contest?
Yeah.
I would win the best guinea pig because no, I've been you're hitting so many things that when we talk, it's like, I'm good. You know, I experienced that sexual trauma between the ages of 7 and 9. And so overcoming that, and it was overcoming that, and then rejection, and then so I know and I believe in a higher power, and it's God. And at the end of the day, I no longer am willing to chase others and be the guinea pig.
Yeah. You're
right, because people,
beautiful things don't beg.
That's, you know,
beautiful
by the way,
things don't beg.
Yes, I think we do have a podcast on that. I can link that in the show notes. But you know, just because being emotional, it hits a nerve.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't mean that it just means that there's still some more work to do. And you've said some things today that have just been like flashing lights for me. Especially, I'm telling you, I could win the Pig Fair award. I would win the blue ribbon for being the freaking guinea pig. And so many relationships.
Yeah.
And so many times, Kristy, changing because I just thought that if they could just love me, I would be okay. And, you know, I can own it and say it's me. I'm the problem. It's me, because I can stay too long. That's my part in it. I stayed too long, and you know what? I harmed them, and I harmed me.
You know, Amy and I had this conversation I think it was a couple weeks ago, and she said that to me. And she was talking about something, and that came up. And I heard her. This is where a good friend comes in. This is where a good support system comes in. This is where a support system is so crucial. You know, I listened to her and that pain. And she, you know, you've got 18 years sober?
No, 16.
16 years. She's got 16 years sober, and she still felt that pain. Okay? That pain, the wreckage of her past came up, and we're having a conversation about it just 2 weeks ago. A good friend will listen, and I heard her. But then I told her, you've done the work. You have forgiven yourself. You have forgiven others. I need you to put your big girl panties on and move forward and keep doing the damn thing. Because you can feel those negative emotions, but I'm not going to let you feel them for long. There's a time and a place to feel them, to cry, to kick, to scream. Okay, we're going to do that. And we might do it for a day. You get 2 days at the most, but then you're come on, we got life to live, and we're going to go kick it, and we're going to have fun. We've done the work. I am bound and determined to enjoy the rest of my life. Bottom line. You know, in conclusion, here's the best news of all. I'm okay because I have God. I'm okay because I have God. People can come and go. If you want to stay, the majority of the time I'll let you.
She'll pour you a good cup of coffee, or make you a protein shake,
I
or make you a smoothie bowl with some fruit and granola.
I'm pretty good at that. I am pretty good at that. But if you cray and you try to bring drama or chaos, I am like, I love you, but we'll talk in the road or something, because I can't. I'm like, man, you know. But, you know, people are going to do what they want to do. People are going to do what they want to do. Let them. Let them. Let them. I am not going to let you drag me down a road of dysfunction that you have not addressed your part. I'm out. If you want to go and address your part, I am your biggest cheerleader, and I will be sitting there waiting on you. But I will not participate in dysfunction and drama and chaos and bullshit anymore. I will not do it. Everyone has the opportunity to recover. Take it. No one can do it for you. That there is a beautiful, wonderful gift that is laid on the table. Yep. Some people will they will leave that gift on the table, or they'll take it and they'll unwrap it and reap all of those benefits that come from that present, wave upon wave upon wave upon wave. Because with God, those blessings in that present never stops. It never stops. So be careful what you work for. You just might get it.
And let go of that fear of abandonment, because there is a higher power, the one that will never abandon you. We're here for you as always, as we always share. You can reach out, info@pursuitofrecovery.com. Our website is still coming soon. We're excited about that launch. It's going to be in the next 30 days. So we love y'all. We care about you. And we're just grateful you listened. If you liked this podcast, like it and share it with those who you think could listen and learn.
Please
and
do.
We're always here, and we love you.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.